All right, testing, testing. We haven't done this in a fucking while, dude. Month, at least a month and a half, right? Okay. Uh, can I update you guys? Maybe I should. Last video we did, if I'm not mistaken, was 92 or 93 or something, and it was processing squeeze, short-term, long-term memory, and basically the established existence of whatever thought that you were working on. And I don't remember when we did that, but let me just actually just open the video. Cancel no. I'm opening it right now. I was in Modern Khayl. Right click properties. Let's go for properties. Uh, March 8th. It wasn't that long ago, right? All right, so wait, no. Properties. Bella, right? March 8th. It wasn't that long ago. So, no, a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Since then, I have moved. You see around me, it's a different background. This is my office, by the way. And we have, I have left the city because it made more sense to work and coexist around the person that I'm actually like building with, right? A whole lot of established kind of like I don't know thought patterns. Like I've been doing a lot of voice notes. This is my first video in 2 months, but I've been doing a lot of voice notes. So in a way, I felt kind of like maybe I had this conversation with you at one point where there was a lot that was happening, and the ability for me to just have a conversation with myself fully in order for me to understand, because this for me is an actualization, not a reflection, because I'm having this conversation with you guys. So I'm projecting something and I'm holding myself accountable within that. But I'm not hearing myself speak as if I was the one listening. I'm hearing myself speak as if Tariq was the one listening, right? And so as if myself was listening or me. I was not hearing myself speak as if now I'm hearing myself speak as if me was listening, right? Like, I'm looking at myself right now. But when you voice note, it's as if like there's a depth behind, or there's kind of like that connection that's normally hindered by our view of the outside world that's listening. So I did a lot of those, which is a good thing for me to kind of like bring out right now because like, I took the time to kind of like listen to all of them as well. It's not like I just heard them, right? Like, I just made them and I forgot about them. Like I do my fair share of taking notes and checking all these things. Uh, did a lot of those. I moved here, if I'm not mistaken, by mid-March or by end of March. That's when we kind of like finalized the decision that I'm coming here because there was a war and there's a lot of bombing happening. It's just fucking stupid, man. It's just really fucking stupid. Uh, it's stupid, but it makes sense. But it's stupid. Uh, so, and after a while, after coming here, we kind of like because I kept coming up and down, and establishing and trying to like reconnect because we launched our product. We went and we tried to talk to a few people, but they didn't really care for it. And that kind of like was a slap to the face, but more of a masochistic one because I knew that I was building something, but I knew I had nothing. So I wanted to finish whatever I had and however I looked, and in order to go like and talk about it with people. And when I did, and there was energy, but it didn't really work out, right? Like it wasn't something that's kind of like yeah, it was more we support you instead of like I fucking want this. and it's perfectly natural for that to be the case. So for now, or at the very least at the moment, the we took a couple of weeks where we kind of like kept debating things and started realizing what are the approaches that we're either being opinionated about or that are kind of like leading us astray. And one of the things that kind of like highlighted in our heads is like we're trying to do too much from one angle. And the truth is, like, we need to be able to see the world from a business's perspective, and we can't really do that. And in order to prove to a business that we know what we're talking about, we kind of have to like know that. So like it's one of those kind of like loops where they're not really connected because like it's like you need money to eat, but in order to be able to make money, you need to have energy, right, or something. I don't know. Like, so I don't know. It's okay. It's those people like I need to start to make money. I need to start a business. To, to start a business, I need to have money. So like, great. To have money, I need to start a business. Start a business like that. Anyways, our own proof of concept started coming up more and more and more, and I started thinking about the biases that I had towards how I want the world to look like. And as we did that, there was a lot of energy and excitement towards kind of like the okay, how do we show the world our proof of concept from a business perspective? And but it took me back to like the original like days where I started like thinking about my platform. And one of them was like we have to be the first community on the platform. And then kind of like in my head for 3 years, I thought we is the platform, like we are our own community. But then I was like, no, the platform's community is always neutral. Everything about the platform is neutral, 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 neutral. When I say we, I mean like me and my opinions and my biases and all this shit. So it was kind of cute because when that clicked, I kind of like a lot of things became easier in my head, and those are the ones that allowed me to reflect a certain kind of way around how I would use the platform, which was a completely different like mindset and completely different. Not an angle, no. It's just literally an onion, basically. And instead of like peeling from the outside in, you're kind of like from the inside, starting the journey of discovery of what's potentially outside. Yeah, I really felt like I was looking at the world from the perspective of the business, or at the very least, how I would use it. And I always thought about how I would use it as a user, but I never thought how I would use it as a business. And while we did that, we kind of realized that maybe we need our own office space. And while we're at it, maybe we need our own office space, and it should be big enough for other people to use it, so we can talk to them, and we can basically like build a community around the work. And then the more we dove into that, the more it kind of like grew into what it is right now, which is our office. And like that's just the back. There's a lot on that side. And hopefully, over the course of the next couple of weeks, I kind of like take videos from different angles in order for you guys to see stuff, and it'll be fun. Again, like you guys, I feel like there are like 3 or 4 people that still watch this channel. But anyways, I love you regardless. You're fucking perfect. You are exactly, exactly, exactly all I need. All I need. Enough. You are enough. Perfection. So well, here we are right now. Flashback a month of kind of like spending money that I should have been spending on food, or I should have been saving for food. And we're at a place where I have an office, and this office doubles as like where I live. Actually, super funny that way. And there's just perfection in the air. Everything about this space is kind of like pushing me to be pushing me to be a bit more self-reliant, or at the very least self-sustained. Like, I see myself existing here and building this space over the next year and a half. Actually, like this is not a house. It's just I'm crashing on the couch, and there's a such a vibe, man. That's all I could say. Such a vibe. Yeah, really. It's just like it's one of those finding this place was one of those manifesty journeys. Because as we kind of like discussed the office space thingy, I saw one and I snapped a picture. But the other people were kind of like, eh. So I was like, fuck it, what am I trying to do? Like, do I really want to spend extra money? And then like through that thought process, I was like, you cannot unless you give it your all, you cannot. So like at the very least, let me just go ask around to see what's around us. And we found this place, super like beautiful, and signed in 3 days and started kind of like imagining shit and started moving and building and collaborating over a course of 2 weeks to a month. It has been a month since we've had this place. Time is moving. Beautiful. This is an update. And I'm going to do, I think, two more videos where I discuss something about society and about money. Look at that. I love you guys. See you in a bit.